Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today I have a very exciting Halloween themed announcement. If you can't tell by my little ghosts and my little pumpkins, I am telling you all about the Halloween themed readathon I'll be hosting in October called Happy Hailey-ween. I am so excited to host my first ever readathon that I've ever come up with and that I'm hosting by myself. Y'all know I'm a homebody, I'm an introvert.
I do not play well with others, so it's just me.
I am the sole host of this readathon and it's named after me. Happy Hailey-ween. I'm obsessed with myself, okay? And this is basically going to be a long weekend readathon where we read a bunch of horror books, but honestly, you can follow these prompts and still read romances, thrillers, whatever it is you read, but I will be reading horror since it is Halloween themed, and we're gonna be prioritizing indie authors, authors of color, and queer authors. I am so excited for this. So let me just go ahead and tell you guys all the info. So the readathon will take place October 13th through October 16th, right smack dab in the middle of the month. It's gonna be a long weekend. Y'all, I finally got my move date when we're gonna be moved into our permanent apartment, so hopefully I will be in my new apartment, cozy and nice for the readathon, and I won't have to sit in front of this book wall. I'll actually have a beautiful background by the time the readathon comes around. Obviously, I will be vlogging it every single day. And I know there are a ton of readathons going on in the month of October. Feel free to overlap Happy Hailey-ween with something else. I know there's so much going on, so please feel like you can participate in everything. This readathon ain't strict at all, okay? If you want to participate in one prompt with one book, literally, I do not care. We do not have rules here. We are not strict here. This is all for just some spooky fun. So the prompts for Happy Hailey-ween are as follows. The first one is to read an extreme horror book or extreme for you. So let's say you're a romance reader and you want to participate, and something extreme, like pushing it to the limit for you, is accidental pregnancy trope.
Who likes that? Nobody. That's extreme, baby.
You go ahead and read that, and that check, that's extreme for you. Let's say you are a horror reader, but you're a little intimidated by extreme horror. Just take something a little bit of a step up. Maybe read something like The Troop by Nick Cutter, which isn't extreme by any means, but still pushes the envelope with body horror and gore. Or you can join me and read an actual extreme horror book, of which I have a ton of recommendations. I will link my video up above and down below, where I recommended a whole slew of short extreme horror books. The next prompt is to read a book that takes place on Halloween at some point during the course of the book. So obviously, I know a really popular one for this prompt is going to be Daisy Darker, because it does take place on Halloween night. But if you want to stick to reading only horror, you could also read Autumn Crow by Cameron Chaney. I absolutely love this one. It is not scary at all. It is a sweet, cozy collection of horror stories that take place in a town where it's Halloween every day. The next prompt is to read an indie horror or thriller book. And the perk of this prompt is that not only are we supporting authors by reading indie published books, but we also have a lot of these available for free on Kindle Unlimited if you subscribe. There's a ton of amazing indie horror and thriller books on KU, so I want to show some love to those authors with this prompt. I have an entire recommendation video on what to read from KU, so again, I will link that one everywhere. For this prompt for me, I'm either going to read some more John Athan because I've been really loving him lately, or I might dip my toes into Frida McFadden since everyone and anyone has been asking me to read from her on KU. And the last prompt is to read a spooky book by a BIPOC author. There is a ton of horror out there by authors of color. One of my favorite horror authors of all time is Stephen Graham Jones. So it would be so great if you could support him or another author of color that is your favorite. Oh, sorry, that was not actually the last prompt. We have one more, and that is read a horror book, a thriller book, you know, whatever you read, by a queer author. I love LGBT horror stories, so there are a ton of options for this. I just read Dirty Heads, and I absolutely freaking loved that one. Also, To Be Devoured by Sarah Tatzlinger, and anything by Eric LaRocca. If any of those have been on your TBR from my recommendation, now is a great time to pull them out. Also, the good thing about this readathon and the prompts is that a lot of these books that I'm recommending are pretty short, so we're going to be able to knock out quite a few books in the short time of the long weekend. There is going to be a buddy read for the readathon, and that will be The Mother Next Door. I am so excited to read this one, and it does check off a couple prompts. I figured the prompt that would be the hardest for people to meet is reading a book that takes place on Halloween. So this book is a domestic thriller that takes place during this Halloween block party in this suburban little neighborhood. I thought that was so cute, and I've heard there's a lot of drama in this book, so that is going to be our buddy read. That is what I'll be reading for the Halloween night prompt. And if you're not typically a thriller reader and you want to branch out, this might be extreme for you and can count for your extreme prompt. I'm telling you, don't be scared of that prompt. Everyone is welcome to participate in their own way, and nobody's going to be policing you, okay? You choose what you need to. There's also going to be reading sprints during the readathon. On Thursday afternoon to kick off the readathon on the 13th, I will be hosting public reading sprints on this channel, as well as on Sunday evening to close out the readathon and finish our last books. I will be hosting, again, public sprints on this channel. And while you're attending the sprints, I'm so excited for this. It would be so cool if we were all matching while we were reading at the same time in our Happy Halloween merch. Yes, I do, in fact, have merch. I am so excited to share it with you. I will link it down below. You can buy all the Halloween merch that you want to. We have multiple colors of crew necks and of tees, and my patrons have already had access to the merch, so they have been absolutely loving it. I hope you guys love it too. I had the most amazing designer help me with this design. They're actually one of my real life friends, and they don't want to be, you know, exposed to 12,000 people. I get it, that's just a little bit intimidating, but leave a really nice comment for them so they know how much we appreciate their design. I literally told them when we were coming up with the concept, like cutesy pink Y2K, but also like horror girl, spooky Halloween vibes. And this is what they came up with. I am so in love with it. The like drippy font. I'm losing my mind. I love it so much. And you better believe I'm going to be living in different variations of the merch the entire readathon. Also, y'all, now that I know how to do merch, expect more. Expect more, because my patrons have been giving me ideas and y'all are not ready for what's coming. Speaking of my patrons, can y'all tell these are my best friends? They are getting a few extras throughout the course of the readathon. So if you're a part of my Patreon, you will have access to 2 extra reading sprints on the Friday and on the Saturday as well. So if you're on Patreon, you will get to attend a sprint every single day of the readathon. There will also be a separate Discord thread all for Halloween, discussing prompts, recommendations, all of that jazz. They already got an early access and discount code for the merch. So if you want to get a merch discount, go ahead and join Patreon. It is already on there for you. And finally, my patrons will also get a chance to live discuss the buddy read Mother Next Door during the month of October. So those are all the extras. I'm so excited to make it just a little bit extra special for the besties. We have so much fun over there all the time. So as always, she will be linked below as well. Wow, I'm gonna have to remember to link a lot of things below.
Let's hope that I do.
And the last kind of part of the readathon of Happy Halloween is the Instagram prompts. It is no secret that I am a little Instagram girl. I love posting on Instagram. If you're not following me already, come on, what are you doing? I literally post every other day. It's a little bit of a problem, but I love it. So I do have Instagram prompts to go along with the readathon as well. There are 4 prompts, so you can post on Instagram every single day of the readathon, or you can just choose one. If you're not like intense like me, that's totally fine. Day 1 prompt is to post a picture of your TBR stack. Day 2 is to post a photo of a Halloween treat. I'm definitely going to get crumble cookies on that day. Like, you can bet your bottom dollar my picture will be of a crumble cookie. But not like just a crumble cookie, like aesthetic, cute, filtered crumble cookie. The 3rd prompt is to post a picture that has a pumpkin in it somewhere. I may or may not be wearing this like vintage thrifted pumpkin shirt, which I'm obsessed with, so expect to see more of her. And the last Instagram prompt is to post a selfie with all of the books you were able to complete during the course of the readathon. I thought since Instagram is such a big part of my brand, it would be so fun to add in photo prompts as well. So I hope you guys will participate in all of it. But of course, feel free to pick and choose. I really wanted this readathon to be inclusive and fun for everyone. Readathons in the past have been really stressful for me, so I'm trying to make this as low stress as possible for everyone, including myself. And I think that is just about it. I really hope that you join me October 13th through the 16th for Happy Halloween, and go ahead and grab your merch before it stops selling. I believe the last day to buy merch for the first batch that will ship out for the readathon is September 29th. You can always order in the second batch, but I cannot guarantee that it will get to you for the readathon if you order in the second batch. But of course, if you get yours in the mail for the readathon and you love it so much that you want another one, batch 2 will be there for you. So yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and like this video if you're super excited like me for Happy Halloween, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week. I will see you in my next one. Bye!